Okay, so we are here. Second cup of coffee. Been an awesome day. Really, Peely got in, got some yoga. We ended up having all three kiddos somehow navigate the trenches to get into the bed last night.
The mommy and daddy bed.
The mommy and daddy bed, which is always fun for your mornings. But we got up early. I got my run in. Peely got yoga in. We had a good morning bringing that in. And
lots of cuddles. Let's just go with lots of cuddles.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy kids. They're moving along, getting some rest. We just played outside. It is hot outside, which is awesome. So if you want to test yourself, this is a great day to get out there and push yourself because heat's your friend. And of course, winter's your friend. And we'll touch on this again. But if you assume every day is a great day, then it doesn't matter what the weather is.
That is
so
true.
We're going to take that away because we're going to set up our days today. And that is set up our days for success. And talking about the morning routines, the topic of the day is affirmations. I don't know why I said it like that. Affirmations.
You're making sure everyone really, really keys into that word, affirmations.
Yeah.
So how do affirmations play into, or could play if you're not doing them, into your everyday life? So if you are friends with me on Facebook, and if you're watching this, you probably are, then you know that I put daily affirmations based on what I feel that day sometimes. And you can always tell when I'm falling a little behind because I'll be like 5 days, 6 days behind. But every day, I do an affirmation, whether or not it gets on the interweb. This helps me to really kind of put together,
set the narrative
for my day. For instance, I love talking about right now. Definitely, I love talking about aloha. I love talking about what that can bring to an everyday life, what that can bring to the world, what that can bring to your heart. There's so many meanings. I mean, if you know the word shalom, it's basically the same. It's like telling somebody hello, goodbye, love, and everything that surrounds it. So a lot of my affirmations lately have to do with love because I really, really think the world just needs love and aloha. But if you look at other of my affirmations, I think today's affirmation or yesterday's affirmation, I'd say, I create before I consume. So that's one of my affirmations for the day, that I want to go into the world and I want to create more. And I want to give more before I take away from it.
Well, I talked back to masterminding, right?
Yes.
So for masterminding here, you may join a mastermind, but you need to bring value as well. And that's where you're going to grow. And that ties into everything. And so the thing I read the other day was, I refuse to give up because I haven't tried all possible ways yet, right? So if you are alive today, well, you have won. So now that next step, okay? No more going through the motions. No more saying, today was a rough day. The kids were in the bed all night. So I'm going to get up and I just, you know what? Today's not my day. Let's see how tomorrow's looking. Well, why not? Why can't today be your day? And it's getting up and setting the attitude and setting the agenda that you say, today is going to be my day. I have the power to create the life I desire. I am. Start talking about yourself in the present, right? This is something that you may not be right now today, but why not? Why can't you start right now and say, I am, and that could be anything. I am a successful real estate developer. I am a successful entrepreneur. I am a marathon runner. I am a in shape person. I am emotionally satisfied. I am a great husband, a great father, a great wife.
Yes.
Well, thank you. But on those points, setting that narrative, not saying I will be, right? Because now you have to think about it. I will be. Well, no, you can be right now. You set it up in the affirmative and you put the message out there to yourself. Because if we don't start winning on ourselves right now today, well, then everything that follows this is already going to say, well, you already got beat by yourself. So why can't that bother you too? Oh, I stepped on a toy. Oh, I spilled my coffee. Oh, well, okay, that bothers me. Oh, if someone spoke to me wrong. Oh, I didn't like what someone put in social media. But if you haven't won against yourself and set the narrative that I am successful, I am a winner, I am, you fill in the blanks, well, then your message is not going to carry through to the rest of your day.
So you have to remember, listeners, you awesome people, that this is also supplemental. Affirmations are meant to be supplemental. You have to take action. You can't just say that you are in shape. Because if you're not, and you're saying that you are, you're just lying to yourself. So what you need to do is take the action, get out there and do those things that will make you get into better shape, eat better, exercise, eat better again. Like, do those things that will get you there. Affirmations set your mind correct, set your vision correct, set where you want to go, set your goals in line. Like, if you have a goal that you feel so strongly about, why not repeat it to yourself every day? If you have a goal that you are going to lose 10 pounds within the next 3 months, why not say every single morning, I am worth it, and I will lose these 10 pounds in the next 3 months by eating right, sticking to my meal plan. Notice I didn't say diet because I do not believe in diets. Sticking to my meal plan and exercising every day for 45 minutes. I'm going to go on my walk. I'm going to go to that class once class is open. I'm going to take that online class. You need to set yourself up with the affirmations to take that action that'll get you there.
So let's take that one step further. Okay, you do your morning routine, you do your affirmations, you're out there to go tackle the world, and you get kicked in the teeth right away. Okay, so how do we reset the day? How do we take the day back, take back our energy, right? There's a tremendous amount of things you can do. And a lot just says stop. Don't react, think. Take in deep breaths. Take in 6 deep breaths. It would completely change your agenda, change your narrative. Take the time to stand up. Do the Superman stance. It works. Stand up, stand strong. Don't let your body be meager. Don't let your body soak. That's why lying down most of the times our poor thoughts, everything comes when we're in a weak position. Stand strong. Let your body know that I'm going to be strong, and let that carry to your mind. Let that carry to action. Just start up and get going. There's a reason why so much thoughts come from action, come from moving, why we have them in motion. It's because it starts generating all of the senses in our body. So if things aren't going right, start walking, start giving yourself some effort, start anything, 10 jumping jacks, start standing up, sitting down, walk out, walk an extra 50 feet. Breathe in, breathe out. Give yourself that moment to say, okay, fine, that happened. Things are not going to go perfect, because if everything went perfect, well, you want to be able to tell good from bad, right? So when you have a down moment, now you have the opportunity to have a great moment, and you continue this and push yourself forward. And eventually these small things that used to be big problems are no longer even in your rear view because they're so far behind you.
This makes so much sense. I know you all know the feeling when something bad happens, when you read a bad review, when somebody says something nasty to you online, or you watch something horrible online, or you see something horrible on the news. All of a sudden your body and your demeanor kind of does this. Like, Jason knows when I'm not in a good mood, because all of a sudden my shoulders will cave in, and I'll just start looking down at everything.
Yeah, Billy has a very easy tell, right?
Yeah,
and so,
I have a really
but we all have our tells, and if you don't know what yours are, right, then you need to say, okay, what is it that causes that moment, right?
Yes.
Where you find that tinge. I grasp my fingers or my hands for a reason. And I do that a lot, even with my toes, my fingers. And I do this running a lot, which isn't great. So I'll run 50 miles, clinching something, not realize I'm holding on to a napkin or something, just because that's where when something arises, that's where I put my tension.
Yep. And the thing is, once you know what your tell is, for Jason, he can unclench his hands. Can you imagine like running like this the entire time for 50 miles?
There you go.
Yes, Jacob, motion creates emotion. Emotion creates action. Thank you so much.
We like that Jacob's here daily, giving us
awesome.
Actual words to our thoughts. Thank you, Jacob. Crushing it, man.
So what I was saying is that if you know how to release it. So for me, if I'm in a bad mood okay, let's be honest. Sometimes when we're in a bad mood, we just want to stay there and like sulk. Jason knows. He comes up to me whether I like it or not, and he'll take me by my shoulders gently, and he'll pull my shoulders back. And all of a sudden, I feel so much better. All of a sudden, everything opens up. My heart opens up. My shoulders drop. And like just doing this is making me feel like I can do anything, because so much, all of the stress goes like this. So open yourself up, feel it, figure out what your tell is, and everything will just open.
I love it. And it carries through. Are you setting the right message for yourself daily, right? There is a lot of reasons that people are hurting right now. And there's a lot more that will come, right? And so for that, it comes with us starting first, because if we can't help ourselves, we are not in the position to help other people.
Yeah.
We are now, and we don't want to be, I don't want to look back and say, I brought stress, concern, other things on other people, when everybody has their own problems. I forget where it comes down. Socrates, Aristotle, completely going to be the wrong context. Someone way back in the age, very, very old, has a lot to say and a lot of meaning. So we'll start there. Said that if you took all the world's problems and put them all into one big pie, cut them equally for every person, and gave an equal share out to every person, almost the entire world would be asking for their real problems back. Because each day we don't have massive problems. We have problems that seem to exist to us, but there's people out there, if you take in context right now, that just simply don't have drinking water. Just as simple as that. People are dying. Kids are dying in countries daily just because there's not water they can drink. Or if there is a stream, the stream is also garbage, bathroom, everything else in between. And whether you're upstream, downstream, you're contaminated. And if you look at something as simple as that and you say, okay, well, that's a problem, right? What I'm dealing with right here may seem like the end of the world to me, but how many times have I been in this position here where, yes, it does seem like the end of the world, but I have the opportunity to correct it because I'm still breathing.
So when it comes to your personal problems, or even the problems that you take on that are world problems, it's a choice that you make. The problems that you take on are a choice. And it's how you take action and react it's everything. It starts with you. It's not them. You can't change them. No matter what you do, no matter what laws you try to change, no matter anything that you say, all the finger pointing, that's not going to do anything. It changes with you. How are you going to figure this out, figure yourself out, so you can put your message into the world in a way that people will listen, that people will want to hear you and change with you. And I hope that the thought process that you're having is one of kindness and aloha and changing things for the good, because you need to realize, oh, listeners out there, that you have so much power. You have so much power, but it starts here. It starts with the affirmations you tell yourself. It starts with the mindset that you have. It starts with your self-talk in your head. And if that self-talk is negative, then the things that come out, chances are they're going to be negative too. So change this first.
So David Meltzer came on the show, supremely awesome interview. He says you have the power in your finger to basically create enough electricity to basically power LA. And if you think about that in that context, if you have that power, well, why can't you use it for what you want to use it for? Why can't you do it? And for that, you take that narrative and say, I am in control of what I'm doing. I am in control of my steps. I can do this today. And you just start doing it. And that's the simple step. You start doing it. And again, everybody reaching out and saying just great things. So Paige, if you want another talk here, Paige had a great point. Write it down, right?
Yes.
What you put down on paper becomes concrete, because now your mind is putting into another format and taking it through. So you want to do something, write it down continually. Write it down every day until it is what you do. And just like other parts of your life, if you are not surrounded by the right people, find the right people. So Paige, he's our comrade in this push-up challenge, right?
Yes, 50 push-ups.
He said push-ups. He said, I said, okay, Paige, a good guy. I'm jumping on. I had no idea in the beginning why we were doing this, but I just said, okay, let's do it, right? Because here you go. We'll get going. So we got into it. And now there's a whole other group of people that are saying, here is a test for myself daily that I want to take on for the next 30 days. So if you're listening here today, hashtag 50 with Will, 50 with Will, to go in there, you can knock out 50 push-ups, start your 30 days in a row. Or start something else in that part and create another group that get out there. Accountability partners for anything, for getting up and walking, for eating better, for all these other things.
It starts with an idea, though.
It does.
It's not that.
Shauna, Sarah,
Yes.
all these other people, thank you so much for always saying such nice things.
And the thing is, what I was going to say is, it starts with the idea, though. It's not that Will just thought of it out of thin air.
My screen ran out.
Oh, it ran out of power.
So
oh my goodness.
that's where we got to find solutions.
You know what? I have to go help him because his screen ran out, folks. Be right back. Jason will take over.
If he just knew that he could use his finger to power it. All right. So don't want to beat this over the head, but there are many days that we all have down days. But that's the way we know up days, right? It's like if the sun never came up, darkness would be fine, right? And vice versa, right? So we know the light from the dark, and we know the dark from the light, and it gives us perspective on what the other has to do. And we can do that with our life too. And we can start pushing and pushing and pushing, where we set the narrative for ourselves, and we set and what's interesting is, people speak a lot about just the ability to continue to move, which is so neat, right? The ability to, if you're a flock of birds, they move and they go to an area that's more convenient for themselves. We can do the same thing. We can change our situation. And even if you feel stuck, there is nothing. Imagine feeling stuck 30 years ago, right? Where we just had no other resources. Today, you can learn things. You can go out of your way. Pretty much so many people have phones, right? You can learn anything. You can learn anything. So I'm working to get more proficient in stretching. I do it. I'm kind of flexible. My upper body's not, so I can go on there and look at different things that can bring up more flexibility for myself, more ability for me to really create longevity, right? Because whether you like it or not, with modern medicine, we're going to live longer, right? So it's going to happen, right? Where we see that people are going to live longer, and our kids are going to live even longer, and their kids are going to live even longer. So why live a life that's not going to be what's going to meet your story of what you want? So today you said, you know what? I'm just not where I want to be in life. Okay. Let's take that in. Let's label that. Let's reflect and say, I am going to go in this direction because I no longer want to be in a position where I am not where I want to be. Change the narrative. And it's persistence and patience, right? This is not going to happen overnight. You're not going to say these things today and ultimately have gratification tomorrow, but you will start moving the ball in the right direction. And you'll start moving to a point that it's going to pick up so much speed, and you pick up so much speed that you're going to become infectious. It's going to become what you do. And I had a question. I was on Safer's podcast yesterday, Passive Cash Flow Podcast. I am sorry if I just said the name wrong, but awesome podcast will come out. We'll share the episode soon. And a lot about talking about branding and also just talking about running. And they go down to the same thing. You don't start with the effort out there, right? So running, I ran my first marathon in 2009, New York City Marathon, super experience, right? So I hope that event gets back on. It wasn't like I just said, okay, I'm going to run a marathon today. But now I've built up that I can run a marathon today if I just want, with no preparation, because I built myself up. It would have crushed me in 2009 because my body didn't know, my mind didn't know, everybody didn't know that I was going to do it. But I set my mind that I was going to run it at a certain time at a certain pace, and I put in the work to get there. And as persistence, it was setting a routine, it was setting a narrative, and allowed me to carry through. Now today I'm doing that on bigger races. I'm looking for higher elevations, 100 miles, 200-mile races, because that's going to push my narrative to the next thing. And I'm going to have to find a way that I can get it done against me first and set the mode to say, okay, I will do this. And when I get to that race, I tell my mind I'm done already, because this is not something that's if I can do this, if I can have a good day. It is, I am having a good day. I am finished with this race.
Luke is having a better day.
Better day.
Because
screen's back up.
Just think of it this way. You're having problems with everything. Nothing can seem to work. Imagine seeing it from the point of view of a child. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work. I have to go tell mommy I'm about to cry because my screen doesn't work. Oh, we missed Jacob here. And Jacob, thank you. 15 minutes in, we did pass it, but you are getting a killer workout here today if you're with me. So go for 38 minutes. I was wondering about that. So yes, just the last part about Luke. All we need to do is plug the computer in and turn it back on. So sometimes it's just you plugging back in. So yes, thank you, Jacob. We missed the 15-minute mark. Again, if you are exercising, you are actually 20 minutes in. Yep. I know you're doing your push-ups right now, Jacob. Thank you to you. So we did push-ups, or you did push-ups, squats. I did squats, kettlebells, burpees. And so today I think we're going to push in some bike here. We've been doing that you go, I go. So great thing if you got kids,
and they're not at the point where they're going to be occupied. You want to make sure that the 1.5-year-old is not hanging from the roof. So we do this where we're doing quick spurt rotations of exercises, getting out there. People will go to the front yard, do 3 sets of 3 different exercises, rotate. I'll come back in and we'll do that for 45 minutes, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it gives us a point that we can get a workout in, make sure we're spending the time with the kids and also having an eye on. So, because when things go quiet, what that actually means.
Yes.
So
that was a good workout yesterday.
It was a good workout.
So action steps. Should we talk about breaking down of systems and the action steps you can take to make sure those systems don't break down and what you should do?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So action steps in systems and when they break down. So number 1, when your system breaks down, take a deep breath. Don't let it affect your entire day. Because if you're a systems fanatic like Jason, well, more me than Jason, but if you love your systems, you have to realize that sometimes they're going to break down and sometimes it's going to be something simple. And sometimes it's not going to be something that you're going to know. So take a few deep breaths, don't get down on it, and figure out what it is. So for instance, today I was supposed to have a really amazing interview with Tyler Jensen. Tyler, if you're watching this, you are awesome. I can't wait to have you on. And he had all the information. He actually sent all of his bio and his headshot, gorgeous headshots, gorgeous pictures of his family. And we were ready to go at, it was 10:45 today. And I was waiting and I waited for 5 minutes. And I was like, I guess Tyler's not going to show up. So I start checking email and I get a pop-up that says that Tyler's waiting in the Zoom room. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I go into the Zoom room that's there and it happens to be our personal room. Whereas we had given Tyler his own room that we were supposed to go on. Zoom mechanics, whatevers. So I take a deep breath. I'm like, okay. I go in, I apologize to Tyler for wasting his time. And I tell him there was something that happened with my system and I would like to figure out what had happened. Please, can we reschedule? Because they're awesome. So, and I just realized I'm like taking for number 1, I'm taking all the time. But
no, that's good. Let's go.
Basically what happened was Tyler gets back to me and I also go and message him because I'm not sure if he's going to be on Messenger or if he's going to check his email first, but I want him to know that I acknowledged a problem. And I wanted to apologize for taking his time. And then he gets back to me almost immediately. He was like, oh, Peely, I went to the link that you gave me in the email, but I see that it's different than the one that you sent me previously. And I was like, what email? So he actually, great guy, sends me screenshots of where the link was. And Jason and I knew exactly where to go fix it. And now that saves us from a slew of heartache. Just because I made it the point to figure it out. And I reached out to Tyler, who was gracious enough to reach back to me and help me figure it out. So take a deep breath is 1. And number 2 is figure it out.
So what was actually the root of the change here is that we were trying to make this a more seamless process, not only for us, but others. So we used to use our personal Zoom meeting for everybody, so everybody to have the same link, right? But then we had to go in the back end and update everything, put everybody's name on, do all these extra steps here that just convolute the process. And then we'd have to label it, put it in Drive. There was about an extra 20 minutes of work after each interview. Well, the way it's worked now within Calendly, we have that through Zoom where it generates a special link for each guest that when they come on, and that gets sent out. And now they're ready. And when we have the interview, it's already labeled with them, labeled with their name. This was done by Peely, not by me. I tried to throw things at the computer. It did not get the same effect. But what had happened there is we set up a Calendly so they get this email, everything goes through, it's all set up. But we missed is that the day of and the day before, you get a reminder email. And then in that email, we had not changed it over to the new link that each guest gets with each time. It was still our old personal meeting room. And for that's why it generated this error that it occurred. And it's one of these things that you're making your processes better, and there's going to be places that you're going to miss. And you have to, be clear with yourself, look at the steps and say, okay, now how can we improve this next time? Because if you are working with people and you want to make the user experience great, you want to make it for them and you want to make it for you, right? So if I can make this more efficient and it helps them, great. If it helps them and it's still the same process with me, great. If it's a lose on both sides, okay, then push it off. And that can go to anything. You as a boss, you as someone who's working as part of a team, you as in retail business, you in a e-commerce business. If there's something that can streamline the process and make this a better result for both parties, super win. But if it does it for the customer too, Super win.
I'm going to say one more thing about systems. So number 3, systems are supposed to be ever evolving. It's going to change as your business changes, as you become better. It's everything that Jason just said. It's basically you grow, you make your systems better and better. And sometimes those systems need some chance to catch up. So today, our systems needed a little bit of chance to catch up, but we figured it out, and I'm so happy we did.
Yeah, and we're continuing to grow out and learn with the process. You have to take action. You have to. So,
talk about taking action.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe.
If you guys will take the moment, get out there, put forward, give us some of that good love over there at YouTube. We actually have changed up the YouTube channel. That's really been a lot with the interviews coming over. It's going to be a lot more tactical is the word.
Tactical
advice for a fulfilling life. And that's going to touch on fitness, going to touch on families, going to, of course, touch on real estate. And we're going to keep putting out this great stuff. So make sure you're over there so you get the alerts. There is the link right there. You can also see it in the notes. I almost said show notes, but I guess it is show notes.
Kind of. Show notes.
Okay. So anything else?
No, that's all I have for today.
Cool. What are we doing tomorrow?
What are we doing tomorrow?
We're going to talk on instant gratification, and we're going to talk on how that results in a long-term regret.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. That was
perfect.
There you go. Okay, guys. We shall see you tomorrow. Same time.
Same
place.
Channel.
Same bad channel. Bye now. Oh, one more.